Fellas, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us on the podcast.
Hey,
Absolutely.
thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about the number one golf belt on the market.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so me and James, I'm Justin, this is James. We set out to create the best belt on the market. Always had a dream of running a golf company, let alone a company itself since we were kids. We grew up together. And we spitballing a day after golf of how can we introduce a product into the golf world that would fix some things but still look good. So we came out with a golf belt that kind of could encompass something that was unique, looked good, and provide some sort of function on the golf course. So kind of the gist of it.
So where did the name come from?
So to James, I'll let you touch on it.
We honestly we went back and forth with like a bunch of different options, but um when we heard the name Dartee, we were like, that kind of has a good we like throwing darts on the course, right? But we were
Absolutely.
like, we can't call it dart. It doesn't, it just doesn't go. So we need to make it a little bit better. So we're like throwing the name Darty out there. And we were like, is that going to give too much of like the party, like day party vibe? We wanted to keep it a little bit more professional than that. But yeah, we ended up like kind of just, he scratched down a logo, kind of similar to the one he has on his hat. And we kind of just ran with it. We're like, all right, let's go in. This sounds like a good name. It's catchy and it fits in.
I think that's kind of the biggest part of not only starting a company, but it's like you have to have a catchy name, you have to have a solid logo,
You have to have a good name.
at least a good name. But
Yeah.
I ideally like to have something that's catchy, though, right? You're like, what is that? And so I think you kind of nailed the head on both of those. So love it.
I don't know. We were talking earlier. It's very like 90s feeling.
Got a little bit of the '90s vibe on the hat and the gloves
For
for
From
sure.
sure.
Miami Vice, right?
I
Yes,
wasn't,
yes,
yeah, I
exactly.
wasn't around much in the 90s, but it feels pretty 90s.
So it's
Making
a
me feel
funny
old.
story behind that.
You are
So
old.
a little bit further back in my timeline, I used to run this donut shop, and they had like a similar color scheme, and it was
Okay.
called Donut Connection. I don't even know if you guys have ever heard of it. There's not
No.
many around anymore, but yeah, it's like a 70, 80, 90s kind of vibe, color scheme wise. But I saw it on a white hat, and I was like, those colors are so cool. If I ever start a company or like do something, I'm definitely using those colors. So it worked out perfect.
Well, and the more we kind of like we chit chatted a little bit before, the more I look at the logo, the more it kind of feels like a baseball vibe as well.
hmm
Like especially with the D, the way it tails off like that, it just feels like almost like a minor league baseball team
It kind of
logo.
does a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of I like it.
And I know you guys are saying that you play baseball and everything. It's the more I look at it, the more I'm like, 90s baseball.
Yeah,
See?
and that's one of the things with going back to the name that we wanted to like portray is like, I think the word in itself is perfect. Like Darty, a day party, we're having fun on the course, but at the same
Yep.
time, we want to appeal to golfers that aren't going out there just to drink and have a great time, obviously, but that are playing golf to shoot a low score. So it's like throwing darts while you have a Darty, a day party. So it kind of mesh together perfectly. And
Trying to
then
get everyone involved, right? Whether you're a serious golfer and you want to play sober, or if you want to just like I said, have a good time and drink 18
No
beers.
doubt. Time and place for both, right?
Couple two, three, fours.
Yeah, a couple of 13, 14s. Okay, so you guys talk about the Miami Vice vibe, but you guys aren't really from Miami. Where are you guys originally from? And again, I know you talked about you guys kind of grew up together, but tell us a little bit more about that because I find it intriguing. Me and Dom, we met in college, and same thing. I started Save Park Golf a while back, quite a while ago, and we were doing the same thing, playing golf. And I was like, dude, the podcast game is kind of like picking up, and we kind of
Mhm.
had that same thing. We're like, let's start a podcast and just try
I
to.
remember you're like, you have opinions. I was like, I sure
He
do.
has opinions, so it just makes sense, right? And we love talking to people. So
No
can you
doubt.
guys just hint on a little bit of like where you guys are from and kind of how that whole thing started?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so I'll take it. Yeah. So Justin and I, it's a crazy story. We tell everyone this because it's like, I don't know, it's a unique situation, but our moms actually went to high school together and they were best friends. So I've known Justin literally since like day one. We didn't end up going to the same like high school or grade school or anything, but we always remained pretty close. And you can follow up
Yeah,
with.
it's crazy. We go back. There's pictures of I had to be 5 months old, an infant, and James has tossed me in like a little wagons, whipping me around the yard. Just terrorizing everybody that we come across. And
Sure.
kind of our moms only let us stay like get together maybe once a year because it was tragic when we were together. But it just as we grew up,
Troublemakers.
you know, Yeah, we stayed together, grew up,
We
and
couldn't sit still. We were always getting into something.
Sure.
yeah, so we always, once we got older, we were always just like spitballing ideas. Like, we love business. We were smart. We're both in sales for our real jobs. We were like always like, we need that $1 million idea, right? Just like everybody does.
Yep.
So every time we were together, we're spitballing ideas. And, it was finally, it came down to like, all right, let's pick something we like and let's actually just try to go out and execute an idea. And kind of where the whole thing from our friendship all the way to starting a company came.
How long ago did you guys start Dartee Golf?
James?
I don't remember the exact date, but we started. It's probably been almost 3 years at this point from when we had the initial idea to putting the concept onto paper and just trying to go through all these different prototypes. I mean, that whole process took way longer than we even expected it to. So yeah, it's been a while, but we're super happy to like see how far we've come to this point, and it's crazy to, look back on.
What is owning a business or starting a business is already pretty daunting in itself, and a lot of people kind of think the biggest fear is failure, and they just don't take that initial step, and you really just have to actually go out there and try it. But like, what is like one of your favorite things about creating this company? Like, what is one of the hardest things? I know you just kind of touched base on some of that, but like, is there something that you really enjoy about it? Is the designing, the different reaching out to social media? I mean, what is your like ultimate goal, and what do you really enjoy about the whole business aspect?
Yeah, I think I'll take that one. I think the cool thing about it is everybody, you're growing up and you always are with your buddies and you always tossing ideas around, right? But everybody has that $1 million idea, but it's just taking it the next step and executing the idea is I've read some stats like 5% of people actually take that next step to execute it, and another 5 off of that percent goes out and is successful with it. So it's just what it showed me is like create a plan, execute it, follow it, and then things will start to domino effect from there. And I think that's the coolest part is like you feel like you're pushing this down the road and you're not getting anywhere, but then you look back a month later and it's like, wow, would you have believed where we're at a month later from now? Because you don't think the day by day stuff that you're pushing it from there.
James, do you have anything to add on there? Is like maybe like something that you like really don't enjoy about it? Because I know there's always something of being a part of a business that there's just something that is like, I don't like doing that, whether it's staying up on the social media or
Yeah, I mean,
taxes, for example.
yeah, the taxes are obviously brutal. Like some of the more mundane stuff, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think I hate doing the same thing over and over and over again. So like just keeping up with posting, like I don't even mind creating the content, like some of that stuff, but it's just like you try to get stuff out daily, every single day, make it better, keep up with the quality and stuff. So, that part of it's tough, but it comes with the territory.
Sure.
That was my big pet peeve because I know when we started, at least the podcast page, Derek was like, "Man, post every day," and I was like, "No," um, because I felt the same way. I'm like, I don't want to be like, "Oh my God, I didn't post today. What am I gonna do? How is this gonna affect us?" And it got to the point where I was like, "Let me do it my way. If it fails, we can do it Derek's way because Derek's way works. Like, let's just do it my way." If you look at like for the podcast, I post twice a week,
Yeah. And for me, like like I
like
try to
three, four,
post three to
five
four
times.
times a day. I mean,
And
it depends on the time of day. I mean, there are days when we kind of bounce back talking about working jobs on the side of this side, kind of the side hustle on the Safe Park Golf side. So it's like when you got a full day ahead of you, you try to manage as much as you can on the side, but at the same time, sometimes that the 7 to 4 and those kind of jobs take over a little bit, so it's kind of gets to the side. But I totally get it. I mean, it is one of those things where I try to make a point to at least post once or twice a day, but uh, it's not for everyone, that's for sure. But I do think the social media side has opened up a whole new uh territory for what you guys are trying to do. There's a lot of bad things in social media, but there's a lot of good. And I think especially in the golf community, this is something that I think could be really successful for you guys. And it's kind of an untapped market, right? And how you were kind of talking about how Bad Birdie Golf and all these have these really cool polos and designs. And if you want to kind of touch base on that about the belt game, because I think you're right. I haven't really seen the only belt that kind of like sticks out to me or comes to mind is the old school leather, white and black, and then it was the Nike logo. Other
Yeah.
than that, there really hasn't been like a really cool belt that I can think of.
I always think of like the woven kind of
There's the
multi.
woven ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
that. You kind of see those everywhere. It's like that was the biggest thing for us too, is because we knew we could do what everyone else was doing. We could go like just create a brand and come up with polos or joggers. I mean, how many jogger companies are out there at this point? How many polo companies? And a lot of them, the price point's high on them. So it's like we just, it's tough. We want to do something that's a little bit more innovative and change something that hasn't been changed in a little bit. So when we started talking about the belt, it just made too much sense to go that route. And then we just started like adding on to the idea. And it was tough to bring the idea to life because when you think utility belt, you think it's like a little bit more gimmicky.
Mhm.
So trying to get that perfect pairing of all right, let's keep that sleek style look. So when you see the belt, you're like, wow, that's a sick belt from a style perspective, but also like let's make it more functional than just a regular belt. Like, what are some
So
things we can do that you could actually use?
yeah, so before you elaborate on that, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. It's a utility belt. It's honestly because I think when I explained it to Derek, I'm like, it's like the Batman belt, but for golf in a
Yeah.
way. So I have your website pulled up on my phone, and I just kind of want to read what it features because I'm still blown away how compact it is. It does look sleek, it looks very stylish, but it's got two T's and a leather holder. So you put the two T's on the belt. You get a ball marker because the belt's magnetic, right? It's got a little ball marker holder and a leather glove holder.
Yeah, how does the leather glove holder work? That sounds really intriguing.
Well, for me, I have ADD and I like to stick things in my pocket, and then I
Mhm.
always sit down and get jabbed. I don't know. I
Yeah.
always get
Oh,
like,
ET?
yeah. I always get sick.
Yeah.
Exactly where the idea kind of came from. The idea initially when we went out and played a golf round and we were thinking of stuff still in that phase of thinking of product to bring to market. And in that round, I lost a glove on the course. I got stabbed in my leg with tees when I sat down in the cart. And I had a ball marker that I just bought it at, a nice course 2 weeks before that a course I wanted to play and gone. And I was like, how can we, fix that issue? How can we speed up pace of play so you're not going back to your cart every time? Oh, you got a tee? Oh, it's in my bag. I got to walk back, right? So our concept was how get it out of the pockets, get it onto the belt. Don't make it look like it's this big construction worker belt, but
Sure.
still make it customizable to where people can take off the accessories. If somebody doesn't like the tee holder, great, take it off because it's a Velcro piece that can slide onto the belt, adjust anywhere on it, and be used if you want or not. So
Okay, so interesting. So you don't have to have it on the belt if you didn't want to. So as I said, it's not
exactly.
okay. Very, very cool. And then so you offer 3 different colors, correct? I've Desert Storm Tan, Shadow Storm Black, and then Stormtrooper White, which I really like those names. Very cool. And it kind of covers pretty much every style. Black and white obviously goes with everything. If you want to do some khaki pants, like the tan goes with everything as well for the
Right.
most part. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming that was a strategic move on your part.
it kind of feels like you could dress it up or dress it down.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a cool belt. Like we always say all the time, it's like the belt you can wear to the office and then throw the accessories on and take it to the course. I wear it to work all the time. And when we started, we're like, all right, let's start off with some basic, just black, white, and tan, and keep it simple, right? At first, when you start a business, it's so easy to like dive into 25 different color schemes and all these different things. It just complicates it. So finally, like we've been selling these since let's say like November of 2022 online. So now we're at the point where like, all right, let's start looking at some more cool color schemes, some crocodile prints, some other stuff.
Very cool. Are your belts like a one size fit all, or do you
Yep.
have different? Okay, it is one size fits all. Okay,
Yeah, not to interrupt. It says 0 to 46.
gotcha.
Is that like a
That's the
ratcheting
cool thing.
system?
It's right on the back of it. It's just cut to size. There's markings on the back, so you know exactly where your size is. You install your buckle right there. It's a ratchet system, so it's every eighth of an inch. It clicks into place. So you eat a big dinner, you can loosen it up real easily. So it's nice from that perspective. But the cool thing about it too is the buckles can be taken off, so they're interchangeable. So if you buy a white with a silver buckle, and then you buy a croc skin down the line with a gold buckle, you can just pop off the buckle, put it onto a different belt, and then really just customize it to the outfit you're wearing to the course that day.
A croc skin with gold would be baller.
That would be
Like that. I'm
We got
telling
some
you,
crazy ideas. Yeah.
Hey,
that would be
did say
sweet.
we're from Pittsburgh. We like the black and gold, you know?
Yeah,
I figured.
yeah, I love it. You probably kind of answered some of these questions, but as you know, as owning a business, I'm sure you have like some short-term goals, some long-term goals, and you just talked about some of the different prints and designs. Like, what are some of your like short-term and long-term goals though, as the company itself?
For sure.
I think right now, like in the foreseeable future, our main thing is we're gonna try to go full time with this. We both work full time jobs, as Justin touched on earlier. So we come home from work at 4 o'clock. He meets me at my house. We pack up orders. There's so many little things we're trying to keep up with at once. So definitely just take it to that next level. So we have a full week's worth of focus that we can try to propel this business even further, bring on some employees. We have some great people that have been helping us out from the start with little stuff. So shout out to those guys. The little things go a long way. So we're trying to grow into a real company and working on the fundamental stuff to go full time right now.
That's awesome. I love that, and hopefully you do. Like I said, we're on your side, so we'd love to help you out with that. I also think it's kind of cool too, is like a golf product, and you love to play golf, so it's kind of like you can just sell your own product right while you're just enjoying a round of golf, right? Because I'm assuming like that's one of those things where you get paired up with two random people, and then all of a sudden like, what is that? Where did you just pull your
Yeah.
tee out of? And it's
Yeah.
For sure. That's one of the coolest things, man. Like I forget what I was doing, but this one time there was someone talking like their shoe guy. And I was like, man, I wish I was the shoe guy, I want to have like a product because everyone like consumes things, but I was like, I want to have like something that's cool to like give people. And then like through this process now, like I can whip out a belt and hand it to someone that, just a cool guy I played around with, I randomly met. Now I can give them a cool product and it's like the coolest feeling.
Yeah.
What right now, like what is your target audience? Is it people that are like on social media or online? Is that where you're selling primarily most of the belts?
Yeah, we're direct to consumer right now. We, like what James said, we launched in November. Have had really good results. Christmas hit, and it's a great gift for Christmas, for Father's Day, all those times a year. It's so unique that it's like, oh, I have every polo in the game, but I don't have that. So that's the big thing in the golf world. So direct to consumer right now, we're working on potentially getting in some big box stores down the line. Have some meetings coming up. So really, that's a big goal for us. And then the third facet of it is being able, like James said, boots on the ground. We want to sponsor outings, get out with the golfers, see how we can make this better, build that community, because we want to be more than just that belt company trying to make money. We want to get ingrained in golf. We love golf. We have a passion for golf, same as you guys started this podcast because you love golf, right?
Yep.
So what better way than be a boots on the ground with the people? Like this past Saturday, we were out at an outing, had a 10 up on the 17th hole on a par 3, doing challenges, just talking to golfers, selling the belts, and having a good time. And what better way to have a day of work than that, in my opinion?
Well, I mean, if you want to go to California,
Yeah, we do have an upcoming
we do
tournament.
have an outing.
Yeah, so you guys, we teamed up with Odin Golf. That's June 3rd. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be the Save Bar Odin Shindig. So yeah, if you guys can make it.
I realize I've been telling
Let's
people
talk
to
after the call.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, we got a lot of other companies out there. It's gonna be a huge. I mean, it'll be big for connecting with whether it's that you're just an avid golf fan or just an avid golfer, or if it's something where you want to connect with another company or business and try to work out some sort of collaboration.
or if you're weirdly a fan of us.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah,
it is. Like I said, we got all sorts of people. Like I said, we have a lot of some of our previous guests on the podcast now. We have regular group chats on that we talk to. So like those kind of things, the golf community is fantastic. It's huge, but at the same time, it's very small and pretty tight knit. So I think it's a great way to connect. And I think, like you said, it's not just a belt company, but you're wanting to get more involved in other things. And my one question is the like for the on the belt, you have like the little the ball marker. Is that
Mhm.
something you guys do custom and then like with like Christmas or like maybe like Father's Day, do you guys like offer like customized like dad of the year or those kind of things that you can plug in? Do you offer that?
So we're right now, like I said before, we're kind of keeping things simple, but now we're getting to that point where we're creating, different collections for the belts that'll have their own specific ball marker. And that's a great thing that we want to get into, is just having a selection of cool ball markers that you could put onto the belt for, different holidays or just cool stuff you see online that we get a design made up and you want to rock that on the front of your buckle. That's one of the coolest parts to me, is like that customizable thing, whether it's your favorite sports team or, you know,
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that's another point. Team, yeah, sports.
yeah, it's custom. Like any traditional standard ball marker size fits right on it. So if you're rocking your favorite country club, your favorite sports teams, that's a big way we see this going in the future, is being able to, even colleges, University of Pitt Golf. Shout out to them. We sponsored their outing this past weekend. We're
Very
talking
cool.
about a belt with them next year. Do a blue and gold belt with a Pitt ball marker on it.
Yeah.
So definitely that facet. And right now we are, if in order on, like, if people are doing like an outing, right? Like you guys are holding your outing. If it's over 15 belts, we're taking custom orders right now to turn around, custom. But like James said, down the line, we'd love to be able just to give direct to consumer, hey, give us your ball marker, we'll send it with your belt, be able to
I
really
think the only thing you're missing on the belt is like a bottle opener. Like somehow you guys need to incorporate.
It's like gonna be the Binford 600, dude. Like the old school tin the tool.
yeah,
It'd be
Got
like
exactly.
every option,
it
whatever
would
you
be
need.
the ultimate golf utility belt. Like that would
yeah.
be.
There we go.
You're not the first person to say that. I promise you
Wouldn't be the
that.
last person either.
I
All right.
love it. So going back to that though, is that something like you talking about like your favorite golf club from a country club? Is that something you're also trying to get into? Is like different country clubs, golf courses where they have their own marker? You can hang your belt with their marker. Is that an avenue you guys are exploring as well?
Yeah, we're actually in a couple in Pittsburgh right now, and continuing like some of the indoor simulator places. Downtown on Par is a great simulator place. If you're in Pittsburgh, head down there. But we're in those stores, so it's really just starting to grow from that perspective. This
Okay.
is our first full golf season, so the idea is to be in as many country clubs and have them feature their custom ball markers on the belts.
Awesome. Very cool. Is there anything that we might be missing about the belt? 'Cause I definitely want to talk about some of the hats with the 90 vibe and the gloves as well. But is there anything that we might have missed about the belts or anything that's coming up that
Yeah, I think you touched on it all. It's those
okay.
utility functions, but the big thing we want to just portray to people out there is like, this is, you basically build this belt to yourself. If you don't like an accessory, take it off. If you like it, use it. For me, the biggest feature that I love having a ball marker on the front, being able to mark my ball. It's more official than sticking a T in the ground if you don't have your ball marker on you.
Absolutely.
That's
And I do think that's sorry to interrupt. I think that is kind of the game changer as far as being able to take it on and off if maybe you
Mhm.
want the tees, but you don't want the, vice versa. So I think that's a big advantage in my opinion.
I love the
Yeah,
the glove
Yeah.
glove holder because I hate shoving it in my pocket. I feel like I look dumb.
Well, not only that, though, some joggers, I don't know if you guys are jogger fans, but some of these pants don't even have back pockets anymore. It's like, what the heck is going on?
I noticed
Or
that.
they have it, but they're stitched, right? And some like the
yeah.
European, it's on the other side, or they don't even have it. And so, like, I mean, that just makes it more of an
Yeah, we
advantage
saw
for you
James.
guys.
James pointed out some golfer on the tour this past week. I don't know who it was, but they're tucking it under their belt, in between their belt and their pant loop, and it's just like, that look does not look good. So we were like,
Yeah,
let's
we
go.
got a better way. It's the most underrated feature. I'll go down saying that is like, if you haven't tried out the Velcro glove holder, now that I don't like put it in my pocket, I always, if I forget it, I'm like, no, because it's just so easy to slap on there. It doesn't fall off. I'm not losing gloves, and then it's way better.
Not getting
I will
sweaty in your back pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I will say I mean, I do like the jogger look depending on the size, but I do have a pair of joggers and I actually really like them a lot. But that is one of the downsides is they don't have that. They have the pocket. It looks like they have the pocket, but
yeah,
it's stitched. So it's like now it's like, well, what the hell do I do with my golf glove? Because it's like, when you're putting, I'm always it's a pretty popular thing to do. And now it's like sitting in my front pocket, and now that's just kind of awkward, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, so I think that's a great feature. Just to kind of bounce off and talk about the hat. So you guys, Dom, you kind of mentioned that you just launched them today,
No, the
or the
gloves.
glove. I'm sorry, the gloves. That's what it was. But the hats,
I love those damn hats.
3 different colors with same kind of thing:
Appreciate it.
tan, white, black, and they also have the little T spot, so you can put the T in there, kind of a rope hat style, but
Yeah.
very 90s esque.
Let me tell you, the tan one growing on me.
I love it.
I love the
Appreciate
tan.
that.
I love the pink.
Yeah.
The tan one, it might be where it's at. I feel like that was probably underrated as well.
Yeah,
That
that's
tan one
actually
is
been our
sweet.
best seller for sure.
Is it?
Tan's been
Yeah,
the
I
best
like it.
seller of the hats. It's our kind
Yeah,
of goal
maybe some
date is
basic.
James has touched on, we love the color scheme with the Miami Vice, and that's our base, right? But we're going to be releasing collections down the line. We're going to release, our next one's our Greenside Gator. We're going to do a gator skin style belt. But we're also going to try to release hats and potentially polos down the line, all within a collection. So each collection of belt that we do, the hats, the gloves, the polos are going to be based off that. So you can almost go to our site, hit the collection, and get your whole fit right there. So you can.
So you can like buy bundles if you wanted to.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. That makes it easy and convenient. Okay. Like
Yeah.
it. And then you just talked to yeah, the gloves just released today or launched today. Same thing. I think it's just one glove right now on the website. Do you guys plan to do different colors of that
Yeah.
as well?
We were like, so as we were, developing and building our website and getting pictures for content and stuff, we were rocking all these different golf gloves. And we're like, man, we need a glove that we can throw on our belt. It's like the one thing that we're missing. So we worked on that for a few months, got some samples in, went through like a ton of crappy gloves that just like would tear up real quick. So finally found like a really nice leather and a good look that kind of fit with our brand and everything. So we've got a good bit of those just in and got them up on the website today. So we're pretty pumped about that.
Awesome. Um, so kind of bouncing back, you came up with the idea. You guys were playing golf. Was it something that you guys were like trying to like were you playing golf and like trying to find something that just like stuck out that really bothered you, or did it kind of more come naturally? Because I feel like sometimes the best ideas, it is something that like why is it like this, or why is it not doing that, and that's kind of how you find that idea. But was it like it wasn't like a 5 hour round and you were just bored sitting there and it was like a light bulb went off and
So Justin and I actually like we lived together for 2 years, and our goal when we lived together was like let's like make money, let's start a business before we separate and get out of this situation that we're in. Take advantage of this time. It was during COVID too, so like we're sitting at the house playing around with like stocks and crypto and all this stuff, but we're like let's start a business. Looking at all these different things to get into, and then from there it kind of stemmed off where different ideas were thrown around with the golf stuff, so it kind of just played itself out.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it, I'll touch on that. And, props to James all the way for this. But, it's just one of those nights having some beers around a fire and spitballing an idea back and forth. Had a couple too many, went to bed. And James took the initiative. The next day, he ordered literally everything you could from Amazon to create a prototype of this belt. And he had it there in 3 days and literally glued on this rubber tee holder and glued a ball marker to a random buckle and created a prototype. And we're like, holy crap.
I wish you could see it. It's like looking back at that, it's so funny. It was like a poker chip ball marker. It was just glued to the belt, had absolutely like no function. We're like, how's this even gonna work? Because originally we were gonna keep everything like attached to the belt the entire time. But then we're like, what if you're a different size? It'll be in a different location. We need to make these things be adjustable. You can take them on and off. So a lot of back and forth went into that prototype.
And you guys didn't have like any background or experience in this beforehand, correct?
No, James is in real estate. I'm in medical sales. So it's just we've
Okay.
been great sales reps. We're like, just give us a product for ourselves and we'll sell the crap out of it. But
Yep.
yeah, no experience with working with manufacturers, graphic design, CAD, all that stuff. So it's been really quite a learning process doing it from the ground up.
That is really cool. I love that because I feel like sometimes it's multiple failures of different businesses, right? But sometimes, like you said, it just takes that like one idea. Everyone has that certain idea, and we were kind of touching base on it earlier. It's like it's not the idea; it's actually like taking that step forward and putting it into motion and putting it in place. Just like you said, like getting on the computer, start ordering stuff from Amazon. There are definitely some benefits to Amazon, right? You can get stuff really quickly and for a pretty decent price. So that's kind of nice. You're able to whip up a prototype. It needs to be like you got to hang it up like in your guys's
For sure.
when you guys have your headquarters, right?
Yeah. 100%. That's the goal. We're trying to, that's big goal. James talks about full time. That's our goal by the end of this year. And we're hoping to get down south. We can only golf probably 6 months out of the year in Pittsburgh, and it's rough on us losing out. So we're trying to get down to, South Carolina, Florida with this thing, and, really just be around the community of people that golf.
Yeah, it's a few more months than we get.
I say we feel you. We're in the same boat.
We
with
get
you.
like 2 or 3 months. Like it's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, golf in snow pants.
Well, it's exactly. Yeah, we're playing snow golf now instead of actual real golf.
Hey, James and I
That'd
did
be sweet.
we did play snow golf. One of the courses by us, Nemacolin and Woodlands, they literally took spray painted like something on the green, and we played snow golf scramble one.
I've done it once before. It's actually it's actually a lot of fun. I mean, it's a way to kind of embrace the cold weather, but be able to still swing the golf club. So
it's a workout though, like trekking through the snow. No
absolutely,
golf course, man.
Okay, we got a couple rapid fire questions for you guys. And again, we'll start with James and then we'll just continue. Best pre-round or post-round golf snack?
Post-round golf. I'd have to say like a Gatorade and beef jerky.
I like the beef jerky.
What color Gatorade?
Yeah, what color Gatorade?
See, the one they discontinued is the best flavor ever made, Purple Rain, but I'll have to go with just the classic. I like the Frost, honestly, the white Frost.
Yep, the light Frost. That's good. How about you?
For me, oh boy. Definitely an icy light after the round. Icy light for sure. Shout out Pittsburgh. I like a little Chipotle after a round. Get the carbs back in,
Yes.
I just told Derek I had the new fuck.
I have
Yeah,
it here.
I texted you.
It's the pollo or the what is it? Hold on, sorry.
The new steak chicken. They put something.
The new chicken.
Yeah. Oh, Al Pastor.
Chicken Al Pastor.
I haven't tried it yet.
It's good.
I had that the other night. No joke.
It's pretty good.
Chipotle, that is a great answer. I love it. Honestly, the Chipotle anytime is fantastic for me, but after a round of golf, that hits, that slaps.
Right,
my brain went everywhere but chicken Al Pastor.
Same. I was like, I was trying to drop it. Okay, this one's a little bit of a doozy here. We'll start with you again, James. You have a chance to buy one golf course and live in it for the rest of your life, except for St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, and Augusta National. Which course would you choose?
Probably Bethpage Black.
Okay. Bethpage Black. Have you played that before?
No, it's on the list, man. There's too many on there.
I know. I agree. What about you? You have a course.
Bandon Dunes, man. That's number one on my list. I was lucky enough. I played in the past, I guess, 8 months. We played TPC Scottsdale, Sawgrass, and TPC Myrtle, and great courses. But there's that awe factor that's missing from those, and that Bandon is just got it for me.
I want to play Sawgrass so bad, but that place will chew me up, spit me out, and I'd still go back.
Oh yeah, it's iconic. It's unbelievable. Not the hardest course tee to green that you'd expect, but the second you get off the fairway, you're done.
How many balls did you put in the water for the island?
I put in 2. 100%.
I appreciate you, honest. You could have totally just lied to us and said, actually, I didn't donate any.
But I did come up on 18 and hit just like this beautiful pro cut over the water right in the fairway, stuck it, parted. So I was happy. But yeah, 17, I hit the front, the front of the wood, and I was so bummed.
What did you think on the so I haven't played Sawgrass, but I played TPC Scottsdale. What did you think of the course? Because did it still have the stadium and all the stands set up, or did you play it without that?
It was without the stands. It was actually super hot, like 115. We went probably on the worst day, but it turned out not terribly. I'll let Justin touch on it. He has different opinions.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was James's bachelor party weekend. Go figure. So we go out to, we've been having fun in Scottsdale all weekend. The last day, we decided, okay, we got to play Scottsdale. Of course, it's 116 degrees.
We're hurting from the
We're
week.
just we're gonna burn through it. And I got out there, and you said you played Scottsdale. For me, I played the front nine, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is TPC Scottsdale." And then you make that turn, and it's one of the coolest finishing 9 holes that there is. So, but it was worked out nicely because the front nine, we were getting back in the swing, getting some water in us from the weekend, and then
Sweating it out, yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, if you're not like a avid golf fan, or if you're not really familiar with the course, like I feel like a lot of people wouldn't even recognize 16
Mhm.
with you know what I mean? Because everyone's so used to seeing the stands and
Right.
all of that. And that was my whole goal, is like I've talked about it several times in the podcast, but like my whole goal is like I don't care what I shoot, I just want to par or birdie that hole. And
Mhm.
I actually threw a dart. I threw a little dartee right on there,
Yeah,
and
there you go.
I missed the birdie putt, but I tapped in for par, so I was happy with that. But it's a beautiful track. I enjoyed it. Um, okay, so you got Bandon Dunes. Oh, by the way, I posted it earlier. So Bandon Dunes, have you ever heard of Sand Valley Resort?
I haven't.
Okay, so Bandon Dunes obviously is in Oregon, and they own multiple pieces of property, and one is called Sand Valley, and that's actually in Wisconsin. It's kind of near us. It's it's probably about 3 or 4 hours away from us. If you've ever heard of Wisconsin Dells, which I don't know if you have, but it's like an hour away from there. But it's essentially emulates, or it's the same owners that own Bandon Dunes, and they try to make the same thing. So it's kind of like Bandon without all the water,
Oh,
but
that's
it's
cool.
very beautiful looking. So yeah, look up Sand Valley Resort, and I mean, it's fairly new. They're opening a new course out there, I believe, next year. But they just talked about how they bought another piece of property out in Colorado.
I just saw that one
Yeah,
today.
so that's
Yeah,
a same ownership. So I'm excited to see how that goes. That'll be pretty sick.
you'll have to keep us
Uh,
in the loop with how that is if you get out there.
I know. I really would like to get out to Sand Valley. I know it's again, it's kind of like Bannon though. It's a very nice golf destination. It's an easy drive for us, but it's always so booked up. So to
We
try
should
to
just
pull
book.
some strings and try to
Well, we
get it.
should just book even if it's like 3 years out just to do it.
Could do that.
Just get it on the calendar, man.
Yeah,
Commit to it.
Exactly.
That's true.
We're 10 minutes from Oakmont, and we're still trying to get on, man.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
What's your favorite style of course? Do you prefer like a link style, or do you like more like the traditional with the trees?
I like the link style, man. The trees kill me sometimes. I mean, there's days where you just can't get out of them. So like, even if you had a bad shot on link style, at least you can, dig through some of the fescue and find your way back. But man, you get behind a big tree, you could end up in there for a while.
See, but trees are 90% air.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like somebody said that.
Some days though, it's like the ball is just a magnet to a tree though,
Oh
right?
my
It doesn't matter
gosh.
how well you just stripe it, it just finds a way to hit a tree limb, a leaf, any
Little
part of the tree.
branch, yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
biggest.
I have a lot of love for the ones with trees because I hit this. It was a beautiful shot, but it kind of trailed off right, and I hit a tree and bounced back.
It actually gave you a little love,
Yeah, and I was
gave
like,
you a little favor.
"You're
and
my
the-
favorite."
Must be treating the golf gods well.
Yeah,
Must
yeah.
be.
See, the goal is you just go there in the beginning and you at least donate a couple of balls in the pond near like hole
Exactly.
1 or 2. Just got to get them out of the way, right? And it
Mhm.
can't be like a top flight. It has to be actually like a Pro V1. You got to actually donate something
Okay, you
worth,
should have said the Odin.
or the Odin, or
There
the
we go.
next one. Yeah. Okay. I didn't even get you. I didn't get your answer.
Oh
Twilight,
yeah, definitely links.
or not Twilight. Links.
Yeah, definitely links course. I
Yeah.
just, I love hitting the driver and just letting that thing bounce forever and seeing where it's gonna lie. It's fun.
All right. So you're walking up to hole number 1 at TPC, and you get to pick up a walk up song. What song you guys bumping?
Oh, really, really by Kevin Gates. That was my college walkout song. So that was college baseball. We did get walkouts, man. That Kevin Gates was it for me. So
That was a quick answer. I guess you had the whole baseball thing. You already had the walkout. So
Oh,
like,
that's
it's
a
a quick.
good one.
had it down, man.
Love it. How about you, James?
I don't know. I have to go with some kind of whiz. Just stick to the
From
Pittsburgh
Berg, yeah.
team.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I kind of like messed up here, but do you prefer early morning golf, or do you like a twilight golf better?
I don't know. What do you think, Justin?
I hate waking up not a morning person, but there's nothing like when you just tee off at 7 a.m. and you're drinking a beer and just having a blast. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll catch the occasional like late night round where you get the sunset on like 17, 18, you ride it in and you're like, man, life's good.
That is the trust me, that's true. We always have this debate every time. Dom is not a morning person, and I was not a morning person growing up, and now I am a big morning person, but it didn't matter what time. Like if we had a tea time at 6:30, I was up at 5:30 ready to go. But the positive with that is that you could play early morning, get your lunch in, get a little Chipotle snack in, and then go play another round or hit that
For
twilight,
sure.
right?
Listen, we have an 8:30 tea time at the most beautiful golf course I've ever seen. And
He thinks that's early.
and I'm
8:30.
and like I'm excited to play the course. I am not excited to wake up to play this course.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most beautiful
It's
courses
we're
I've
yeah
ever
we're
seen.
we're playing Half Moon Bay.
Right, we're
super
playing the
close.
ocean course.
But again, 8:30 really isn't
I am
that
not
early though, bro.
alive yet.
Yeah, especially if
make
you go
like a-
out, you have a rough night, you know you have an early tea time. We have like an unwritten rule between us, like we'll never miss a tea time.
Mm-mm.
I've been barely like alive for the first 14 holes.
Well, I don't think really. Like, do you know what we're doing the night before?
We're probably going out. I imagine.
Yeah.
But on the same note, so okay, I will say when I like depending on my round, I normally don't really drink a whole lot on the golf course. I like to kind of like focus in because I just don't play very well on the
Good at 8:30, I might be.
course. But again, I always kind of save that till after the round, right? Or if it's a real bad round or whatever, I'll have a couple. But for the most part, I just play pretty terribly if I'm drinking on the course. So it depends on the mood and the vibe, right? But if I'm going to Half Moon Bay, I'm not going to shoot a course record by any means, but I want to definitely try to shoot my best round possible. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different one at those nice tracks. Because there's that
Yeah.
one chance that you are going to shoot your like life's low and it's going to be at that course, So
Well, and the group we're playing with, we might all be hammered by hole 4.
Yeah, it all it depends on the vibe, right? That's
We
really what it
might
comes.
be hammered by hole 4. I don't know. You
What
might see me like being like pushed along the front with a beer in my hand. I don't know.
it's gonna be one of those videos where I'm driving the cart and Dom's got his feet on the golf cart, like cracked a beer, like, and I'm just pushing him along the way.
Well, and we decided we're not in the same cart.
No, yeah, it's true.
So you might see me just like hanging out the back and
Dom's
beer,
not gonna finish 18
and
for
beer
sure.
driving around.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever flipped a golf cart over?
I jumped one, and that's why Derek doesn't let me drive anymore.
Okay, yeah. So he did jump one, and then we brought this up many times, but we golfed.
We almost flipped one.
We almost flipped one. I did pop a tire though on one. It was kind of embarrassing. Like right in the middle of a fairway. It was kind of a goat ranch golf course, but it had like this like little metal like piece. I could barely see it, and I just had hit the edge of it. Next thing you know, it was like, tss, and it was like it went down, and it was like the most embarrassing phone call to the pro shop. Especially when there's a group behind you.
Yep.
You're like, how about you guys?
There's been
recently.
a couple spills. Look, Pittsburgh's hilly. Pittsburgh's real hilly.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that one.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah, we don't want to get any further detail. We don't want to get anyone in trouble.
I'll get into details though. The one I jumped, we were driving, and this is right next to like the pro shop. There's a bunker, and this isn't like it's a nicer course, and the bunker comes out of nowhere. Before I know it, we hit it, go down, and then just whoosh out the lip, and then we land. And he's like, "No, you're done."
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna switch the bags around. We're gonna switch spots.
Yeah. And then the one we almost flipped, it had just rained, so it's still kind of wet out. And
Yeah.
we're looking for Derek's ball up on this hill.
That was me that time though, right?
Yeah.
That was
'cause I
my,
don't drive anymore.
yeah.
And we're
That's
looking for this ball, and he goes, "It's right there." And we're going to it. And before I know it, I got a beer in my hand, and we're spinning down this hill.
Yep.
Yeah, we were like Tony Hawking it, man.
Beers all over,
We were just rolling around.
and we're like, and then we're with another two, and they're like, "What'd you guys do?" And the beer at this point is spilled all over. I'm
Yeah.
mad because I wasted
Oh,
a soldier.
We need to
Save
make
beer, man.
yeah,
I was busy trying not to die.
we need to get those like we need to come up with a creation of some sort of like non-spillable beer
Four-wheel.
can in the cup holder.
Oh, I'm
To just rattle around, right?
I was thinking
So,
of a
Maybe
four-wheel
Dartee
drive.
drops it soon.
Dartee, there you go. I love it.
Dude, similar-
I'll take some royalties on that. No, I'm just kidding. But
There you go.
Similar story. We were up on this hill looking for a ball. And for whatever reason, I'm like, all right, we can get down. This is not bad. At the last second, I see like there's a drop off where it comes back to the cart path. and I hit the brakes and we start spinning. So I like spin this way and I have enough time to jump out of the cart, but my buddy's still in the cart and he has nowhere
Oh
to go.
no.
So he hits hard, man. And there's stuff going everywhere. Yard sale, like coffee, phones. We're like, get the cart up, get the cart up. The worst part about it was we look up and there's like a high school girls golf team all staring back at us at like 8:40 in the morning, and we're flipping this golf cart up. We're like, oh no,
Oh,
worst
that's
case
hilarious.
scenario.
Well, for me, I thought about jumping, but then I'm like, I got my camera with this big ass lens on it
Yeah.
because we're taking pictures and doing stuff to like, practice, and I'm like holding the camera, just like don't get it wet, don't drop it, and
Yeah.
he kind of looks at me, he goes, "Are you
Yeah,
okay?"
we were safe, so that was all that
And
mattered.
I was like, I don't know, am
We're
I
all
okay?
shaking. I will say though, the one biggest pet peeve, and I don't know if you guys have it, I'm sure you do, but some of those like nicer courses is when you get on the when you get off the cart path and it just starts beeping at you, and then you have to kick
Oh
it in
my
reverse
gosh.
for
Mhm.
like 200 yards. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I hate
Pure
that.
rage.
It's like how
Yeah.
we get it, guys. We fucked up.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
Let me go
Yeah.
back.
Just throw us a little warning sign. Okay. You don't have to like
Yeah.
keep it on, on that mode for the whole
You
time.
gotta
But
go back to the start of the hole just to drive
yeah, we
forward.
got to re-tee it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, two more questions. Bucket list course that you'd like to play.
James, you go first.
Pebble Beach.
Okay. I like that answer.
Yeah. Kiowa is on top of my list right now.
Good one.
Obviously, I don't want to say Bandon again, but Bandon's
Yeah.
number one. Kiowa is another one that's up there for me.
That would be amazing.
What's yours?
Mine, it kind of changes, it bounces around.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I honestly would probably kind of like to go your route with the band, and because for me it's not just one course, it's a whole resort. And I mean, you're literally just like in a golf haven of like that's all it
Yeah.
is, right? So there's multiple courses. And so like I think something in a resort would be my kind of ideal golf trips. This the Sand Valley, I've never played it, but just from the images, something like that, where it's like you wake up in the morning, get a little breakfast, you play golf literally all day, and you kind of just do that for like 3 days straight. That would be my all
Yeah,
time.
and I think that par three at Bandon, they have like a par three course that's one of the top in the states or the country, the country. So
Yes. I will say I had the chance to play Forest Dunes last year, and it's in Michigan. It's a really beautiful track. They have the red loop and the black loop, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's the only course I think in North America. But one day you play it on the black tees, and the very next day it's in reverse and it's the red, and it's actually really wild. So it's the same piece of land, but you play it in reverse each
That's
day.
cool.
It's really cool. But anyway, they have it's called I'm drawing a blank on the par three, but one of the things that I never really experienced was playing a par three in my barefoot. It's probably one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Like people like really like, what are you doing? Like that's kind of like they actually encourage it, but like walking up to a green with a beer in hand, playing a little par three with like two or three clubs is probably one of the coolest and most underrated. They had like speakers on every hole, so they just had the tunes playing. It was
Yeah.
it was awesome. Yeah. Definitely quite the experience. That's kind of my style. If I'm gonna be drinking, like that would be it. Like on a par three, walking it, having a good time. But
No doubt.
um okay, so we typically always end the podcast with some sort of food related question. So first off, thank you guys for carving out some time with us.
sure.
But you guys are in the Pittsburgh area. If we're out in that direction, get an answer from both of you. Where would you suggest that we go?
It's gonna be the
This
same
one,
answer. I'll let James take it, but it's gonna be the same answer.
No, you tell him your spot. I mean,
All right. Permani's brother sandwich. It's a Philly cheesesteak. They got different. It's Mancini's bread. They got Philly cheesesteaks, capicola, but it's a Pittsburgh staple. It's iconic.
What's it called? I'm sorry, Manny's. What was it?
Permani's brothers.
Manny's Brothers. Okay.
Yeah. So
Does Pittsburgh have some pretty legit food places?
yeah, they hit the scene pretty well. I mean, there's a ton of restaurants that are popping up all over the place. There's definitely some solid ones. I mean, if you come out here, you'll be eating good for sure.
Tom, you're gonna ask something. What were you gonna say?
so like the cool thing is like I'll go to Pittsburgh eventually because like I want to see a Pirates game
Yeah,
and like the bridge and everything. Like
it's a really underrated city for sure.
like I just want to see every ballpark.
Yeah,
I'm kind of weird like that. So like after a turn, we're catching a Giants game, and that's solely because I would not shut up about wanting to see a Giants game.
Mhm.
So I'll go to Pittsburgh. I'm hold you to it.
Let us know. We'll take you out. We'll do a little golf, and then we'll go to a Pirates game, the Buccos
Yeah.
game.
hell yeah,
I'm down.
I love
There's
it.
this course up here. It's called Old Stonewall. You guys got to look it up. It's like one of the coolest public tracks that you can play. And I usually play like once a year, but it's pretty unique. The whole clubhouse is like this giant castle.
Oh, very
and
cool.
You guys
Yeah,
would
it was on Barstool. I think they did one of their.
Oh yeah, okay. So the one thing though, so I'll probably be driving with I don't know if I'll be driving with you, James, considering you sound like you might be a little I'll pair you and Dom up over here. You guys can go reckless on the golf cart.
There
You
you
might
go.
not make it, dude.
I'm
I'm
just
looking
kidding.
at pictures of
Yeah.
that place.
Oh yeah,
my
that looks amazing. It's a public course?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get on.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, let's try to get that going. I would love
You
to go
see
out
that
there.
bunker right there?
Yeah,
That's
there's
where
like about 30.
that's where you'll
Yeah.
be.
Hey, let us know. We'll hook that up. We
Yeah,
could definitely
okay.
hook that up, I guess.
Awesome. Fellas, thank you so much for taking the time, man. We had a blast. And again, nothing I hope you guys have great success.
Freaking castle.
That is a legit castle.
Sorry,
That is.
Yeah.
my ADD's kicking in.
No, but we'd like to have you on again down the road. You know, when you guys do some other launches down the road, we'd like to have you on. We can talk about those as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you guys so much. We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you guys taking the time out and having us on. We had a blast too, so we're happy to do it anytime.
Awesome, man.
For
Sounds
sure.
good. You guys take care. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
All right, later.